lake of intelligent data, outputs of which are used to generate efficient decision making for the government sectors. Please welcome our next startup, the title sponsor, Sapio Analytics.
I'm Ashwin Srivastav. He's Hardik Somani. We are from Sapio Analytics. As you can see, we are the title sponsor for the event as well. What I will do is that we'll explain now what really we do. I'll start off with talking about our current team, who we are exactly. Sapio Analytics got formed in around 2019. We started operations in 2020, approximately 2 years ago. There's Prashant Nikam, who is the one of the founding members. He's not here today. He'll be joining us in some time. Prashant comes from the government background. He's a very senior. He was a senior government officer. He's one of those guys जिसको you call mavericks in the government space. जो कि इतना काम करता है कि literally हर bureaucrat जानता है उनको. So he's one of those guys. He was director of police, director of personnel at Ministry of Home Affairs, managing the entire human resources of the police across India. We met in I think in 2017 or 2018. I am Ashwin Srivastav. I have been an entrepreneur. I graduated from IIT Bombay. In my college days only, I started my first company. I've got 2 good exits. Became an angel investor. Started investing in a number of tech companies. Also founded a venture capital fund. Again, invested in various tech companies through the venture capital fund. As you can see, got quite a few accolades as well. Hardik, he has been a social impact guy working on creating NGOs, organizations across different parts of the world, and primarily from the construction background. And then we have got rest of the team as well. I'll not go into the depth of the team right now, but all of us came together to create what we call Sapio. This is the about us, but I'll talk about how really the about us got formed. That's very important to know the story. कि क्या हुआ exactly बना कैसे Sapio. तो Prashant, as I mentioned, government officer, knows what's going on in different spaces. I come from the VC background. Startup के pitches 2018 में 17 में तो used to hear so many of them. And all of these pitches were around कि कैसे data को use करके they will change the world. That has been a typical pitch of all the startups. They will use data, they will do some great things. And it was all very exciting. Things were changing at that time. And then, over the course of a very long conversation, all of us, we found something very exciting. We saw that the entire world, जो startup वाला world है और बाकी लोग हैं, जिस data की बात करते हैं, that data is like the tip of the iceberg. Everyone is talking about that tip of the iceberg all the time. That okay, we'll do something, some digital footprint we'll capture, somehow, somewhere we'll get some information, we'll use that intelligence to create many more things out of it. But उस iceberg के नीचे जो पूरा का पूरा iceberg जो ice है, that was not being captured. That was not being talked about. जो inaccessible data है, जो less accessible data है, जो लोगों के दिमाग में बैठा हुआ data है, बहुत सारा ऐसा data है जो कि कहीं भी किसी की कोई बात नहीं कर रहा था. No one was talking about that. And we thought, okay, what if we get access to that? जो 0.1% tip नहीं है, जो 99.9% real data है. What if we get access to that? We can genuinely create something amazing out of it. And how to get that access is, of course, there was a lot of strategy around what we can do, and how to make that data very intelligent, useful, was all the research and innovations that we did using artificial intelligence. But उसके बारे में I'll talk about in a bit. This is a diagram. I'll explain what really it means. मतलब वो तो of course बहुत ही complicated ढंग से it's showing कि data का flow कैसे हो रहा है, how is it going, what is coming out, and there's a feedback loop over here. Let me explain what it really means. What we thought that we have to reach out to citizens of India at every level and understand what they are thinking at what time. Go to that level later. For example, आज के date में I can say कि our system can tell कि भुवनेश्वर में कोई एक गांव के अंदर जो cooks हैं वो क्या सोच रहे हैं. That is something we can say right now. That is something we wanted. उस level तक data का access. How did we start doing it? We started working with various governments. So we don't call government as our clients. We are government partners. We work with in partnership with various governments. Government of India, West Bengal, Telangana. West Bengal just start होने वाला है अभी. Telangana, UP, Kerala, various places. So we work with various governments. We work with various institutions of national importance like IFCO, जिसके पास there's a large amount of farmer database as well, and various other such institutions. We work with them to get access to work with citizens directly to get large amount of data, which effectively goes into our data lake. अभी when in question and answer we can discuss in more detail as to how really this all happens. But this is how the data source is. कि data government के साथ काम करके different institutions के साथ काम करके we get into the data lake. Now इस lake में क्या होता है? इस lake में analytics होता है. So we have got lots of tools, AI tools through which we get lot of outputs out of all of that data. जैसे कि skill rating क्या है किसी भी एक सेगमेंट की, किसी भी एक इंडिविजुअल की या किसी भी एक ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स की. वो ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स भी हो सकता है. कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर क्या है, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स दे वांट टू बाय, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स दे वांट टू बाय एट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ लेवल्स. हेल्थ इंडेक्स क्या है, सोशियो इकोनॉमिक इंडेक्स क्या है, इकोनॉमिक इंडेक्स क्या है, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस क्या है. Hundreds of such data points. Today in this data lake we have got 1.1 billion data points with access to 50 million citizens across India. Now all of this is where the real value of what we do is. We are effectively creating world's largest repository of intelligent data. Bigger than Google, bigger than Facebook. That's exactly where we are moving towards. Now monetization of that. So source ho gaya ek, government, institutions, our own access which we have built. We have built lots of our own level of access as well with people. उसके बाद analytics हो गया data lake के अंदर, and then it comes to the monetization, the third part of the thing, which we have recently initiated, because the whole idea was the first 2 years we'll focus on getting the base very strong, getting this very strongly done. Now we have started, so monetization is across different sectors, as we can all think कि कहाँ का use हो सकता है. It can be used in BFSI, companies that are planning to finance, do microfinancing. They can use it. It can be used across real estate, agriculture, local administration, labor industries. We're using it across different use cases. The use cases effectively, sky's the limit for them. I'll give you examples of 3 of the use cases very quickly. Some use cases, just for us to understand what really, these use cases are. This is one of the use cases. अभी हमारे पास यहाँ पर source जो है data का, it is coming from various bots that we had created. Now there was a problem. We had to identify micro entrepreneurs जो कि unregistered है, unorganized है. There is no information about these people and we wanted to bring them to the mainstream. This was the problem statement given to us. Now the use case here is that what we did is that we started working on ground. We created these bots which are already there, which interacts with these individuals on a regular basis. So we have got something called an empathetic bot, जो कि बात करता है हमेशा लोगों से. वो उनके पास पहुंच जाता है, हाई करता है, हेलो करता है, उनकी सुबह कैसी हुई है, शाम कैसी हुई है, क्या करने वाले हैं, बहुत सारे इंटरेक्शंस करता है, उनको समझता है. So we have got bots which understand these people and constantly give information. We have got various government data that we created, smart scraping that we do. Various other data sources are there, जिससे analytics हुआ, this socio-economic index, different types of index, perception of people, ये सारे calculate हुआ. इसके basis पर we were able to start doing a lot of analysis and come to certain outputs. इस काम में क्या हुआ, ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश ने यूज किया था, एंड इट इज अ कांस्टेंट प्रोसेस वी आर डूइंग इट विद वेरियस अदर गवर्नमेंट्स आल्सो. इस काम में क्या हुआ कि आज के डेट में पॉलिसी बनी कि सब्सिडी जो है माइक्रो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को कैसे देनी है. Typically got a blanket, there's a blanket subsidy which happens, 10,000 rupees given to all the micro entrepreneurs. Because of this, what happened that there's a policy which talks about 8,000 rupees for the cooks in Lucknow, 12,000 rupees for textile manufacturers in the district of Varanasi, and all those things. So basically, hyper localized policies were possible because of what we did. Yeah. अब मैं talk, वो तो हो गया थोड़ा सा impact focus. Now let's talk about real estate, another place where we are using our information. Now here, the problem was that we needed to, basically real estate में क्या होता है कि there's a lot of data which comes to us, comes to the real estate developers, and typically the conversion rate is very bad, 0.1%, 0.01% at times in many cases. आपको भी बहुत सारे messages आते होंगे, do this, do that, buy this property, जो कि unstructured है, untargeted है. Real estate market needed hyper targeted marketing with intelligence. उनको चाहिए था कि कैसे एकदम बिल्कुल क्लियरली पता चल जाए कि कौन सा इंसान किस टाइप की प्रॉपर्टी में कितने परसेंटेज तक इंटरेस्टेड रहेगा. एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी डिड. बिकॉज ऑफ आवर इंटेलिजेंस व्हिच आई मेंशन, हमारे पास अपने बॉट्स हैं, हमारे पास रियल एस्टेट का डेटा है, हमारे पास रेंटल डेटा है, स्मार्ट स्क्रिपिंग, बहुत सारा इंफॉर्मेशन है, जिससे कि हमने ये निकाला कि एक इंडिविजुअल जो हमारे पास कोई भी लीड आएगा, उस इंडिविजुअल को वो आइडेंटिफाई करके बता देगा कि ये जो इंडिविजुअल है उसको ये वाली प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने का कितना इंटरेस्ट है. सो इट विल गिव अ लिस्ट, ओके प्रॉपर्टी नंबर एक्स वाई जेड interest level 84%, 85%, 32%, everything will be there. So entire process of nurturing them becomes next level now. अब क्या होता है कि जो conversion rate 0.1 से बढ़ा के बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा सकते हैं, which is happening today in the real estate market of Mumbai. So this is another big example. Micro market intelligence, nurturing bots got created out of this. हाँ, we'll skip this now. ऐसे last mile का भी कोई example है. So many examples. We can discuss about those examples in detail. ये सारे हमारे solutions हैं. So as I mentioned कि to get to this level, we need to have a large number of tools developed, and all our in-house tools, many of them are getting patented as well. So we created lots of exciting properties which are now owned by us, जो कि ये सारा data को इस level तक लेकर जाता है. Quickly, let's talk about that. First 2 years, 2020 we started, 21, 22 तक our plan was very clear कि पहले साल हम रीच करेंगे, एक्सेस बनाएंगे गवर्नमेंट से, जो कि हमारा बहुत स्ट्रांग था, और बाकी अलग पार्टनर से. सेकेंड साल हम लोग प्रोडक्ट्स पे फोकस करेंगे, प्रोडक्ट्स बनाएंगे. थर्ड साल हम लोग रेवेन्यू बिगिन करना शुरू करेंगे. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव स्टार्टेड. जब हमने स्टार्ट किया रेवेन्यू करना, तो वी हैव क्लॉक्ड 8.2. कल वी आल्सो गॉट अनदर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, सो 8.32 नाउ. सो 8.32 करोड़ का कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल हमने क्लॉक किया है इन द लास्ट 2.5 months. टारगेटेड टू डू 47. अगर 8.32 अभी इस मार्केट में आया तो 47 इज अ वेरी achievable target by the end of this financial year. And then of course numbers बात के तो सब financials होता है, projections होता है. The point is that कि we are very much on track on getting 50 crores का contractual revenue right now in this financial year. अभी what we are doing now, that we are doing two things. अभी primarily we are also looking for a bigger raise which is going on at the moment. But here the fund ask is very clear. Here we are looking for 6 crores of rupees. वो जो आपको वो तो लिखा है मिनिमम टिकट साइज, इट इज व्हाट आईवी के साइड से भी आया होगा सबको कि 5-5 लाख के में वी आर टेकिंग, विल फॉर्म अ पूल एंड देन दैट्स हाउ वी विल डू द एंटायर इन्वेस्टमेंट. मतलब कोई भी इंसान 5 लाख भी देना चाहे कर सकता है. कल we were at the stall. I'll just quickly take 30 seconds to explain. We were at the stall and so many people came in. There was someone who came in and told, I have a huge gems and diamonds ka business. And when we explained the use case of how real estate matrix is being used, he was excited. He told, this is so important for the diamonds industry. You need to know so many more things. So मुझे लगा कि यहाँ पर when we are here, along with the money, we need people. We need these businessmen, all of them, who can work with us and we can make it huge. तो इसीलिए the idea is कि we need more and more people here. Minimum ticket size of 5 lakhs डाला हुआ है. Fund ask is of 6 crores. All of us, we request you to join us. That's the plan. I think that's it. Some of the recognition by us. Prime Minister has spoken about us. The Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh has spoken about us. So many amazing personalities have spoken about us. These are some of the testimonials by various people who have talked about us. So we have been doing some great work for impacting lives of people. And in that process, we have created something really amazing which we want to now use for the purpose of further monetization. So that is effectively the contractual revenue from real estate developers, from last mile companies, and to construction companies. So this is a combination of a number of companies we have just begun selling out. This is entire private. So the amount which you saw earlier, the first 2 crores, that was which we are calling pre-revenue. That was all government. So what we say now that there is a small amount which will keep on coming from government. But the idea is very clear that we, even in our own calculations also, we put it as, this is our target to get data. That's the purpose of our association. This 8.32 is all private.
And these construction companies are directly or they're consultants to construction companies?
Both.
Why would you not go a B2 consultant and then let them deal with the industry?
That's the best thing. So Stallion, a large market research company, is one of our clients.
If you're undercutting them and going to the construction company directly, then you are doing it wrong.
To Stallion also.
You should clarify if you're going to do that or you're going to do both.
As of now, we have got more customers as well outside of. So Stallion's territory is primarily Vasai Virar and that area. So with them, we are completing that area.
One in Bangalore, one in Hyderabad. Why don't you work with them rather than going to each individual?
That would be always a better strategy to reach out to a larger number of people. I agree.
Is that your strategy?
Yes. Similar to Stallion, we want many more entities. Yeah. Stallion is a master in their own region. Similarly, we want. So the raise is in convertible, 15% discount. The guarantee of the trigger event being in 1 year is because we are already in talks to raise the next institutional round. So that's why.
But there's no floor and cap. What do you mean?
We have not put any floor.
Why would anyone want to invest on that?
So we can.
We're not giving you a debt. No?
We are giving CCP.
I can make more money from debt by 15%. Why would I invest on without a floor and a cap? what is the advantage of an early investor who's a small investor sitting here?
Yeah, yeah.
Why would I do that?
Because 15% effectively, आपको 12 months में that is getting guaranteed in a way, right?
That is an interest that I
That is
pay.
interest effectively. So 15% is there for sure. Now, floor to anyways is beneficial for us more than for the
Using
investor.
the word for sure. Upside नहीं दे रहे ना आप.
हाँ, तो floor का तो जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ पर, right? Floor to is for us only, right? You're talking about primarily about cap. So why not put a cap? It's generally something we can. So I'll tell you, we are raising the next round at $60 million. So $60 million ka cap we can put. It's a discussion point. We can always have a discussion to see if we want to put a cap or not.
How do you think Sapio Analytics will be useful in a healthcare space?
So there is this concept called smart healthcare ecosystem, which was launched by Government of India, which has been created by us. If you just Google also, it says smart healthcare ecosystem conceptualized by Sapio Analytics. So we have created, our intelligence was used towards creating an entire concept which became a paper and was given to various departments as a policy. Now that is the government side work which we have done, which means we have a lot of access to health level data. For example, again, as I mentioned, Varanasi में कौन से लोगों को कौन सी बीमारी ज़्यादा होती है, we know that.
Yes.
So now, the use case of it, you, I believe, from the health space itself.
Yes, yes.
You can also tell me hundreds of use cases where this can be useful. You will know what kind of problems are happening. You can use it for predictive analytics and accordingly position your products in different places. So that's one of the major use cases.
Again, I will again go for the same question. You are giving 15%, but then you are not giving open for the upsides. So
The cap,
definitely-
na? Yeah. So point has been taken. We are open to get the cap also.
Okay, I will be open for a next level talk.
Awesome.
So-
Thank you.
Hello. First of all, great work, sir. Really admire that. Just wondering, primarily your data collection happens through bots, right?
Yeah.
So what is
primarily.
the response rate that you get? You send out 100 bots. How many responses are you?
So our response rate has been very good, primarily because we used government channels to get those. For example, so we have a bot called Artificially Intelligent Career Guide for Blue Collar Workers. This was launched in October 2020. It was started and launched primarily in early 2021. It was launched from the Prime Minister's office.
Okay.
It went viral across all India. It was talked about on media. So we get huge amount of response. So since we work with government, since we are positioned as this entity which is trusted, we get a large amount of response. Now the challenge becomes to have that response regularly. Now I'll tell you how we solve that. We effectively, we have this concept that 99% of human brain is non-conscious, 1% is conscious. So we have to find out things which is non-conscious. You have to constantly, that's why we call our bots empathy bots. So the way it works, can I take just 1 minute to give a quick example here? Okay. So I'll tell you with this bot what happens. Now there were people who are from the construction background in this case. Now these people from the construction background, they were trying to, if you ask them a regular survey, what work do you do, what skill do you have? They will say not skilled because that's where their mindset is. So their mind, the 1% of their mind is thinking that they are not skilled. But जब हमने उनसे बात की, जब हमने इनसे इंटरेक्शन किया, हमें लगा ये जो टाइलिंग का काम करता है, ये हमने मतलब सिस्टम नहीं किया ऑफ कोर्स, टाइलिंग का काम करता है, टाइलिंग में ये करता है, वो करता है. This person is 80% or 75% good enough to do a job in interior designing. तो उसका स्किल बन गया. So that's the beauty of this, that we are effectively finding out those elements about an individual or about a group of individuals which is inaccessible.
Got it, sir. Just a couple of more things. How do you ensure data sanctity and integrity? Because कोई time pass कर रहा होगा, maybe it's just giving.
Lots of tools there, lots of tools. We have to be very strict. For example, when we did the entire census in the state of Uttar Pradesh, we had this concept that every enumerator who was going on ground also, there were enumerators who were appointed who went on ground also, took their mobile apps and collected data from there. They had also a rating. Every day their rating changed. Okay, based on our system, based on the area they have gone to, this is the amount of data which should be coming in. This is not matching, so this is 80% accuracy. So every single data point which comes with a score which says how accurate that would be according to our predictions.
Got it. And is there a feedback loop to measure that, TK, you're collecting data from one person, and then is that person getting impacted?
Yes.
Is that
yes.
loop closed?
Very much.
Okay.
Feedback loop, as I mentioned in the slide also, is a very critical component of what we do.
Right.
Yeah. No. So the approach we have been following is that when we approach the governments, that's the whole reason why revenue is not the focus from the government side. All the agreements that we do, the point is very clear. We are collecting the data. We are the owners of data. We are giving it to you. So government effectively is giving us a channel, a platform through which we can access the people, and then give them intelligence out of the data that we are owning. So we have been very clear about that.
Where is the data stored?
In
आपका
our,
data
in our,
proprietary?
no. So we are tied up with AWS for that. We are a premium partner of AWS. It is in India, Mumbai.
Although it's on cloud, but it's on
Cloud, Mumbai region.
How your data is useful to the education sector? See, if an NEP is going to be implemented from next academic year,
Yeah.
so how your data is going to be useful in that segment?
Lots of information is needed, right? For example, you need to know, again, which segment of students, what kind of courses they are doing, in what area would be performing better, performing bad, what kind of scholarships you need to be given based on that, what demographics need more scholarships. For example, just out of passion, I was doing some analysis on some data. We could see that there's a large chunk of girl students who fall outside of the studying within the K-12 at class 6 or something in a particular region from particular communities. So these are some data points which keep on
So
coming
we'll take
based on
it
our
offline
intelligent
for
data
this.
lake.
Thank you.
I just wanted to understand from the regulatory point of view, just to add to that, do you foresee any regulation coming in, since you have been working with so many governments on collecting the data from the different sectors? You are basically targeting all those business owners who have a lot of consumer data. So do you foresee any regulation coming in to, restrict the utilization of such confidential data of the consumers?
Yeah. So we'll try to be always in the center of any regulation also coming. For example, recently a state government, they started off with a concept of anonymizer, which we are now working on creating along with the help of lots of people. Now this anonymizer is something where open data is there is an anonymizer layer, artificial intelligent anonymizer, and then that data goes out to the public. Yeah. And this is what we are creating. It is being done for the government. Now imagine the potential of that. We'll do it across all the state governments. So we always keep ourselves in the middle of the core work which is happening. Even
So
ONDC, we are in the middle of that
primary
right now.
target will be the government and then the business owners?
That's one of the strategies.
Okay.
Governments to ensure the regulatory is in the right place,
Yeah.
and money coming in from the
Thank you.
business.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll wrap this up here.